Now we will continue to our locomotion system. If you remember, in the last video, I said we have minor locomotion and animation issues, which we will be fixing in this video. And the issue is if we start sprinting and then if we want to stop our sprinting, there is this small glitch between animations. And even if we are sprinting or if we are walking, doesn't matter, this glitch always happens. So to fix it, we go to our animation blueprint locomotion. And in here, in direction angle, we will connect the poles of previous branch to the next branch. And we will keep doing it for every station. And for the last one, we will not be doing anything. Like we are not gonna connect it to the first one. Now with this, yep, our animation is now better. And yep, not this is the like movement we want to achieve, like not turning the body completely, turning it in a very small change. Yeah. Now that we fixed it, we will continue. And in this video, we will focus on crouch and jumping. So what is crouching? If you don't know, crouching is the action that we do in games when we lower our body approximately half, and we do it to get under, let's say, objects, or we do it to hide. So it's a very crucial mechanic that we should have in our games. That's why we will learn how to do it. So we go to our animation blueprint locomotion, and in this place, and I will just put it like this, and I will put it like this. Yeah. Uh, these things that you see here, it says idle and volcan. These are the states. The states basically hold the information for each of the action that we want to perform. So we have our idle state that if we don't do anything, we just stay put in our place. And we have our walk run state, which either we walk or we run, pressing left shift. Uh, these two determines our actions right now. And we want to add our crouch action here. And what we will do, I want you to take a second and to analyze it. If you are crouching, first in the game, you have to be in the idle state, right? I mean, obviously you can press the needed button and crouch while you are walking. Walking, it's okay, but ideally you do it from the idle state. So from idle state, we will create a new state, and we will call it crouch. Yeah. And from crouch, now we need to have our crouch idle state as well. First, I will create these states, and then I will show you which they are doing in the video. And once we create our crouch idle, look at it. We have our crouch, we have our crouch idle, so we have a cycle that within the game. So we also need to create a new state, and we call it crouch cycle. And when this cycle ends, basically when we uncrouch, so call it crouch. And after uncrouching, we are going back to our walk or run state. Now, if we try to compile and save, it gives us warnings that there is no transition between the actions that we want to do. Basically, our code doesn't understand when to go to crouch state from idle, and it is hard for our code to analyze it. And also, we have to do one more thing. So from crouch idle, we have to have a connection to uncrouch, because if we are crouching and we are not moving forward backward, we can still be able to uncrouch. That's one thing. Also, we have to be able, while we are walking, we should be able to crouch as well. And after doing all these changes, yep, I think it's good. Now we will start to implement our crouch mechanic. For that, we double click on our crouch. I will just open this place a little bit up. Now, we imported all these animations in the previous video. If you didn't watch it, go and watch it. You will see how we imported all these animations all in one go. So I will just search for crouch entry. Yeah, because this state is the state that our crouch action actually starts. You see here, the place that it actually starts. So we use the crouch entry. And now we click on the crouch idle, and in here we will search for crouch idle. It's here, and we will put it here. All these animations are very good in the name base. So if you're creating a project, always make sure you name them correctly. So whenever you need to use them, you can have access to them easily. Now I want to do one thing. I want to change the name of Volcan to Volcan Cycle, just to make sure that you understand why we put it like card cycle. And now uh, we will open this, and you see it's a cycle, just like the card cycle. So we have our multiple animations. We have our blendings to blend these animations and poses. We have our default pose, and we have our output. So what we will do is we will copy everything in this area. To show you exactly, we will not be copying animations, we will not be copying these blend poses. We will only copy everything between blend pose and output. We'll copy it, and we will open our crouch cycle. We will bring all of them here, and we will connect it here. So now we see it's our crouch cycle, and it is just unarmed idle, so we don't need it. What we need is our crouch idle. We will use this animation in here as well. You can, if you have, actually we can use another one. We have another one. So no, we don't have. Yeah, now I remember we don't have. I mean, you can use another one if you have another animation in mind. So we will just use the crouch idle in here as a default pose. And now you see this is for front. In this card cycle, what we are creating the logic that we want our character to be able to move while crouching. And we have four directions. So walking in those four directions actually is the cycle itself. And now we have to make sure it is good. So this crouch, walk, forward here. And if you use these animations, just like I use it, it will be much more easier for you to find them. So we go down, it is R. So we come here and find the, uh, the right one. Connect it. Now it is backward. It is this one. We also connect this. And we come down and it is left. So let's also bring this one up. Yeah. Now we also make this part work as well. And I will just check, yeah, everything is in correct order and in correct sense. So it's good. So what we will do now is, if you remember, in the walk and run state, we selected our walking animations and we selected our jogging animations, and we put them in the exact order. We will do this as well. We will select all of these, and for this, I will crouch, and in the method, we will sync group. So while crouching and moving, our animations will be working in synchronization. So they will not try to overlap each other. They will not try to disturb each other. And it will be a smooth, say, way of doing it. Now we did this, and now we have to go come here to uncrouch. And for the uncrouch, we also have a good animation, the exit one. And you want to see what it does. can show you. It just gets up. So basically, once this animation plays, our character stops crouching. That's why, right? That's why we put it in here. Okay, now that we also have our uncrouch animation in ready, let's take a small look at what we did. We created our states and we implemented needed animations in each one. Now what we need to do, if you look at the warnings, it says from idle crouch, like it's like there's no transition happening. And we have to fix it. But before fixing it, we have to be able to call our crouch, let's say basically. And for that, we will go to here and you see it is our sprint. So we will basically create the same thing. I already created this variable, is crouching. We will get this variable here. And now uh, I will use left control. You can use any button you want, but in the games, mostly it is either left control or the button C on the keyboard. So press B and left click to bring branch. We will connect it like this. We will do just like this in here. And we will do this. But for this one, we will take the first one, not the second one. And now that we have this, you see in here we determine the speed. Like if you are sprinting, if you are not sprinting, I want it to be 300. If I am sprinting, I want it to be 600 in the speed. But in here, we don't have to do it. If we are crouching, we will call crouch because we have it. And if we are not crouching, okay, we will call uncrouch. Which this way we will make sure that if we are not crouching, it's in the uncrouched state. If we are crouching, it's in the crouched state. All this done. In here we have to come here and walk speed crouch. I already put it as well to 150. By default, it is 300, so probably it will be 300. It should be, yeah, 300 in your project as well. Why I divided it? Because for the walk speed, I determined walking speed and running speed. So I divided my walking speed. That's why right now I also have to divide my crouch speed because it will not be very efficient and correct if my crouching speed is equal to my walking speed. So in order, when it comes to speeds, in idle state we don't have any speed. In crouch state, let's say we have the value of x, and in walking state we have the value of 2x, and in the running state we have the value of let's say 4x or 3x. It depends on you and on your mechanics. But the main point is crouch speed should be lower than the walk speed. Ideally, it is the half of it. So you can put it like this, or you can increase it or decrease it. It is totally depending on you. So we will come here. We will come to event graph, and in here we will come here. So now we have our sprinting here in set, and we will also have to do it for our scratch. Oh, not this one. Sorry. Is scratching, and we will promote it to a variable, and we will connect it to our set sprinting. This way, our code understands the basic like coding of our sprinting, also our crouching. Now let's work on these warnings because they are looking annoying right now. So we go to locomotion, and you see the first one is between idle and crouch. So let's double click. As you can see, there's no transition. So I will get my is crouching, and I will just connect it here. Now you see it reduced from here. Now I'm telling my code that if there is this crouching variable and if there is action connected to that variable, then from idle to crouch, call the crouch state and make it happen. This is basically how we communicate with our code. And I also want to do one more thing. So let's click on this again. You see in transition rule sharing, we don't have anything, but we will create. Why we are creating this? It is because we will sort all our rules for crouching into one, let's say, shared variable, and we will use it for every crouch. So we will promote it to variable, and I will call it crouch. Now for this, we have our crouch rule sharing, and we will use it for every crouch action. Now we will also do the same thing between here, between crouch and bulk run. We will select our crouch. So what we are saying is basically we are saying this crouch action to be implemented between idle and crouch, also bulk, run, cycle, and crouch. And it is easier for our computer to understand, so we don't have to go and explain it for every state and use multiple codes for every state and every transition. And between crouch and crouch idle, we will also do the same. And between crouch idle and uncrouch, we will have another one. And what it is, you may ask, is uncrouch. But before that, we have to open it. And once we have opened it, we will get our is crouching again, and we will connect it once more to get our result. And after being done with it, we will click on this one, and instead of using the crouch, we will create new one, and it will be uncrouch. It will be uncrouch, and as you can see, because they are different, their colors also are different. So these colors also another way to determine that our role sharing are different for our other arrows. And now we come here between crouch idle and crouch cycle. We have to open it. We will get our ground speed from here. If you don't have it, probably it's because you are using an older version of the engine. So you can just create a float variable for ground speed, and default value is 0. So you can use it. And from here, we will use greater, not greater and equal, just greater. We will put 0.1, and we will call and boolean. And for the first channel, we will be using our is crouching. We will get it, connect it here. All of them close to each other. Okay. Now you see most of our warnings disappeared. Only there are two left, and we will also fix them as well. So let's go here, and between crouch cycle and uncrouch transition, we will also use our uncrouch, because that's the action that we want to do here. And between this uncrouch and bulk, we will click on this. So I will explain this part to you. If we are uncrouching, if we are getting up, there should be no action here. There should be only the animation. To make sure there will be no action on animation, we have to enable automatic rule based on sequence. What it does, it basically tells our code once uncrouch is finished, go to walk run cycle. And I have shown you guys the animation for the uncrouch. It is like so fast. Let me show it to you again. Is this animation? Once our character is up, then we will go to walk and run cycle. So we don't need any action for that to happen. And also we have to do one more thing. So come close here. Between crouch cycle and crouch idle, we will draw one additional arrow. And in this arrow, the arrow that goes from crouch cycle to crouch idle, and we will open it. And basically, what we will do here is I'm trying to explain my code. If I go from crouch cycle to crouch idle, on which parameters should I switch to crouch idle? So I will get is crouching to determine if I'm crouching or not. I will use and boolean It's connected here. For the second parameter for our and boolean, we will get should move, and we will call for not bool, not boolean. So what we are doing here exactly is we are telling our code if I am crouching in the crouch state, and if I cannot move in forward, backward, or if I am not moving, basically, then translate from crouch cycle to crouch idle. Why we are doing? Because as long as we stay in this, all of these codes are being computed in the background. But if we move to crouch idle, it's only just this one animation. This way, we are making sure that we are not abusing our computer and our code is optimized. So let's compile and save once more everything. And we have to do one more thing. We have to come here, and I made a small mistake here. We have to do the same thing exactly in here. We have to call for bool, and we have to connect it here. Because first we have to determine if we are not crouching. If we are not crouching, then if I press left control, go to crouch state and call crouch. If I am not crouching after pressing left control, then just call the uncrouching. And this is the basic way of making it. And we have to do one more thing. We have to come to here, to our locomotion. And between uncrouch and welcome run cycle, I want to put here a duration to 1. So I want my character and my game to be able to showcase that I'm uncrouching and it's not fast. And there's one more advice that I can give you. You can create more than one uncrouch. It should be like fast uncrouching, medium uncrouching, and slow uncrouching. You can create this logic, or you can create an uncrouch cycle. And as we did here, you can add multiple uncrouch animations if you have, and then you can use them. Now let's start our game. Let's move. Yes, we are moving. There's no issue. Our animation is working. I press Control. Ah, I see that once I press Control, there's this issue in the animation, and now we will work on that animation to see what is the issue. Let's focus on our issue. So let's do one more time. Yeah, it happens when we crouch. And yeah, in here we have no issue. So this is in this area. So we come here easily. Yes, if we are crouching, and if we are in the crouch and crouch idle, we should be crouching. In crouch cycle, it's also good. Yeah, the issue is here. It should be actually not Boolean. About this test. Yeah, now we are crouching, but there's this animation errors as well. Again, we will fix all of them. Yeah, these issues we will work on. Let's see. It happens, yeah, around like when we are trying to crouch and turn. So these issues should be resulting in this area, and we have to focus on this part, that what is the issue here. Okay, so right now the only issue that we are left with is this slightly problematic animation problem, and it happens when we are moving. See, it's like we are sliding. It's not actually about any blueprint or any error. It is about the duration of the animation. Imagine this animation is like 1 second. It is in the forward and in the backward. We also have this in the forward and backward. It's like we have this time limit for our animation, and once that time limit is finished, our animation stops. Huh? We come here, crouch cycle states. We select all of them. We come here. We search for loop animation. We compile save. Let's test one more. We are moving. Yep. Now it works. We are crouching, and there's no animation issue. We can, as you can see, move. Okay. Right now I am moving forward. And now I am moving in forward right, forward and forward left, backward, backward left, backward, backward right. Now in eight direction, we implemented four direction, I know, but we also have this ability right now to move in the eight direction. Between the directions, we also have these semi directions that we are able to move. So by this, our curve system is finished, and now we will get to the jump part. Okay, now we're done with our curve system. We will continue with our jumping system. And for that, come here in anim graph. You see there's this main state. And if we open it, we see that what we were doing actually it was in this, like in locomotion state, we were working. So you can create multiple states inside one state. And now we will focus on this part. We will open jump state. We will delete this. And here we have our jump. Uh, so I will type the full name. Done. Yeah, we will use the FX one. We will connect it. This is for our jump state. And now we have to do for the call loop. We'll do this. And in here, actually, yeah, this one. Call loop. We will use this animation. The reason why we are using all these animations instead of the old ones, because we are trying to create our locomotion system, and these animations are the ones that work well with locomotion. Because the previous animations, it makes us move completely, and for every action, it doesn't act as locomotion. So we have to make sure it does act as a locomotion. That's why we have to replace all these animations to the unarmed versions. Now that we did it, we also have to come here, land, and in here we will delete this. And for this place, actually we shouldn't be deleting it first. Sorry, we will just disconnect it first because we will need some values from this. And the animation that we will be using here, it should be this one. Recover it, edit it, save it, disconnect it. Well, why we didn't delete it is because if we double click, open it, we go down on these. We need to find some values here, and I will just, you see, in here it's not active. That's the issue without problem. And for that, we will open it, and in the additive part, we will put as local space. For the skeleton, we will use, and we will be doing it in the recovery to make sure. And for the base pose, we will put frame from this animation. And for the frame, 28 will be good for this animation. Close this, come back here, compile save. And we also like worked on our land state too. Since all of them works good, let's open this. Now we are moving. Our moving animations are good. We are sprinting. It's also good. We can sprint as we want. Now we are just walking again. We are crouching. We can move in basically eight direction that we want, backward or forward, and there's no animation problem. It's all good. Now let's also test our jump. Oh, see, there's this issue. Now we have to work on it. Once we jump, it is like we are disappearing. So what happens while we are doing it? It's because of, again, the animation issue, the animation duration issue, and we will fix them right now. If you look closely, let's jump again once more. The issue, so we have these three steps. We are jumping, we are on the top, then we are landing. And we have to determine where this problem happens. We press, and it happens when we land. So it is in the problem is the landing. And since it is an additive animation and not like this, we need some notes here to make it work. So if you don't know about this, you should learn because this tutorial is not like basic tutorial. It is a little bit intermediate level. So we will just type use the yeah use cache pause locomotion, and I will explain it right now what it does and apply additive here. This and like this. Now what we are doing, if we didn't do it like in the previous one, it is doing the recovery additive over and over, and while it is doing it, that's why we are disappearing. And now we have to fix it. And now that we put it like this, it should be fixed. See it? And you may ask, like, what happened after doing just these two changes? So what is this? It is the cache pause in the locomotion. So basically, we are telling our code while doing this recovery part, don't delete my character completely. Get the last saved cache data from the locomotion and use it as base. And as additive, use this recovery additive. So we are recovering, but we are doing the recovery additive. And during the parts that there is no data, we are using the cache pause. With that, we fix our jumping issue. And it happens so much if you are using Locomotion. Sometimes people forget to use cache data. It is good because these cache data are not like stacking up each other. It is like there's a limit for them, and once the limit is reached, the older ones is getting deleted and new ones are being written. So it's not nothing like affecting our optimization. So it's a good thing to use. Now I noticed that our camera has this very fast moving, you see. It's very annoying and we have to fix it. Let's come here, third person, let's go to viewport. So we will select, okay, let's delete this. We will select our camera boom and on details, if we go a little down, yeah, here we have camera leg and rotation leg. What I suggest you is speed up your camera leg and whatever value you put for the camera leg, always put higher value for the rotation leg. Imagine this: you want to move your camera, and you want to give this idea that you are moving, that you are turning. So the rotation should be a little more in the time wise, so you will see that. See? Before, it was hard for us to see the rotation. And if you look closely, it's like our character is moving slowly. Before it was hard because there was no camera lag. Now there's a camera lag that we can see our character is actually like turning and rotating, and the camera returning, camera rotating part is not very annoying, so it is good as well. Now, what I want to create, lastly, is I want to create a third-person camera and first-person camera. It is very easy to do it, really. So this camera, follow camera, it will be our third-person camera. So let's name it as third-person perspective. You can basically just call it third-person camera as well. Just make sure that whatever you call it, it serves the purpose. And for the, I will come to camera boom. I will increase the arm length. But what I mean by increasing is more making the camera closer to my object. Like I'm decreasing, but I'm actually increasing the value in the point of view. And I will duplicate this, and I will call it FPP, first person perspective. But the issue is you have to be very careful, since first person camera is uh, only detecting like the first person view. It should be the child of the mesh and not the camera boom. So our third person perspective should be child of the camera boom, and our first person perspective should be the child of mesh itself. And for the first person camera, uh, first we have to reset these values in here. And once it's all resetted, I want for rotation, I will put values here. You can use these values as you want. This for 5, 10. It should also be, we have to increase it here. Actually, no, we don't have to increase it. Sorry, I made a mistake. So instead of moving it manually, we have to come here first. We will attach it to our head of our character. Now we will reset all the values, so it will be here. And now in here we will put our minus 90, 90. See, it is attached to our head. 5, 10 here. These are the values that I find very good when it comes to making a third person camera. No, first person camera, sorry. If you don't like it, you can obviously play with the values and get any result that you want. But for most of the cases, these values are great. And we have to make sure that our first person camera doesn't start at the first, because we want to switch to our first person camera. So our third person camera should be the one that is always and always active. And in here, we search for activation, I believe. Yeah, it's auto activate. We have to disable it. So this way we make sure that our first person view doesn't start at the start of the game. Now, okay, now we have to make sure that we can switch from one perspective to another perspective. And we will come to event graph here. Then let me just select all of these and all the graphs. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that once I press T on keyboard, not debug, the key itself. Yes. Once I press it, I want to make sure that I can switch from uh, third person to first person. So I will create one variable. It will be third person camera, and it will be a boolean. And another one, first person perspective camera, and again question mark. Make them public. So let's press B and bring our branch. We will connect our first person camera here, because we want to make sure that if it is a first person in the true channel, we will use a flip flop, and for this flip flop, third person will be on. Yes, and that's basically what we will be doing right now. So the logic that we created here is we are saying if our third person camera is active, and if I press C, then flip flop and change it to third person camera. Now from that, we will get set active and person, and we will make it new active. And we will create set active once more for the first person perspective. And for this one, we will be using new active disabled, and we will copy all this, paste it down. And for the B state, we will do the same, but for this one, we will disable PP here, we will disable here, and we will put new active like this. So in this logic, what we are trying to say is once I'm doing flip flop, first I will come here. If it is third person camera, like third person perspective camera, then I will set my new active as a third person camera, and I will not set it as the first person. And if my view is not third person view, then I will set the first person view as the new active. And that's basically the logic that we want to create within these mechanics. Now that we also finished this part, we have to implement one more thing. So if you are in the third person perspective, once you like rotate your mouse for the view, even if your character is not moving, you can like move your orientation. But in the third person view, in the first person view, sorry, in the first person view, if you're moving your mouse, your rotation should be moving. So we will come here after set active. We will get our character movement. We will call for set orient rotation movement. We will do it for this as well. Since in here we are setting our first person perspective, then our orientation should be enabled, and in here it should not be enabled. And in the character movement, we should search for orient. Yeah, and we have to make sure that our orient rotation to movement is not checked here. And it says, it's just one minor issue. We forget to put the target in here. Yep. And there's one more issue, sorry. Since we put this, we also have to put it in the default value and compile save. Let's go and test it. Okay, now let's test it. We are moving, we are crouching, there's no issue, everything works. We are jumping, it also works. We are sprinting, we are walking, everything works perfectly. Now if you press C, see, we are in the first person view. If we press C again, now we are in the surface. Press C again. Whether our head moves, our camera always moves. And if you remember, in the idle state, we didn't just put the idle animation that only stays put in their place. We also put some small changing animation, like sometimes our character moves its head, sometimes our character is like fidget and etc. And this way, we are making sure that if we are in the first person view, if our head is moving and this part, orient rotation to movement, is the part that makes sure that if we are moving our head, if it is with animation, if it is with cut, doesn't matter, our camera view also shifts. If we want to make it a little more better, we can also do it. We come here, we select our first person perspective, and in here we search for use tone, control rotation. And in this way, we are also limiting our rotation once more, so it is much more better, and it's see, now it moves, but it is like a very slight change. Before that, before we implemented use tone control rotation, it was very harsh movement. But right now it moves, but it is very small. You see, it's very, very small. So it is very close to human eye and human understanding as well. Okay, so this is the end of the tutorial series. I hope you liked it. And in this tutorial, we implemented crowd system, we implemented our jumping system, and we also implemented a system that we can change from a first person to third person and vice versa.